Alright, this is my first video in an attempt to start to collect a bunch of videos to kind of keep a record of the type of work that I'm doing for my own personal benefit to learn more. Well, anyway, I got a call basically saying that the discharge air temp was kind of high, and that the cooling valve actuator for the chilled water coil was at 100%. And as you can see, my discharge air temp is at about 69 degrees. So I came in, I connected to the CPO6A, and I started to, the first thing I did was I took a look at the coolant valve, and I made sure that you know, it was operating at 100%. And then what I did was I brought it down to 0 to see if it would close. So let's go ahead and bring that to 0. Just for example, you know, we're starting the troubleshooting process. So the valve seems like that is going to 0 from the 90-degree position of it being closed, and I'm going to go ahead and watch that stem and see if that stem goes like I like to say east and west, which shows valve closure. I got my eyes on the stem. I'm thinking that the stem may be the problem, but we're going to see, because I also looked at the discharge air temp after about 5 minutes once it appeared to be closed, and as you can see, it's moving to let's say 0%. And let's see if that stem closes all the way. One thing I noticed is that the chilled water coil was putting out about 47 degree, 48 degree supply water, but I was getting back about 70 degree on the return side. So that is way off. That should be at least 10 degrees. I should be at least getting back 55, 60 degree water from a little bit I do know. Another thing that I decided on doing was to go ahead and see if my discharge air temp sensor was correct by putting one of my sensors on it to see if they're, you know, if they were reading the same. Maybe the discharge air temp sensor was incorrect because, you know, let's see what we got. So we saw earlier we had about 69 degrees, and this meter is maybe plus or minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit. And so the CPO comfort point open software was reading about 69, and so we're at about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 65% relative humidity right here on my probe. And I'm going to let that sit there for a while, as long as I can. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and look back at the, you know, and I guess I got to work on how I handle this. Okay, now the valve actuator position says 0. I mean, the stem itself going into the pipe, it looks like it's in the closed position, in the off position, like any valve would be. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the discharge air temp sensor. Discharge air. Alright, let's refresh that. We're still at about 69 degrees. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and call this I want to do some further investigation, but so far so good. So basically we've tested the coolant valve actuator, and it appears to be operating properly. We've tested the discharge air temp with the standard from my own probe to reference the discharge air temp sensor that's in the system. They both seem to be about accurate. We're going to see what the next step is. All right.